I'm back with more clips from training camp, and today we're going to be looking at Rico Dowdle, running back of the Dallas Cowboys, formerly from South Carolina, working his way up the depth chart. And the depth chart came out for the Dallas Cowboys yesterday, and he was listed as the RB2, and he has been playing well. But the focus here is this is an important spot here in the NFL because the Dallas Cowboys has a prominent offense, a lot of ambiguity after Tony Pollard. We want to see who's going to be the guy, and we want to see how this plays out with him, Malik Davis, and some of the other jabronis on the roster, looking at you, Deuce Vaughn, and everybody else. But we got to see how the back end of this running back depth chart looks like. And right now, Dowdle, RB2 is what he's listed at. We all know the depth charts are kind of wonky here. Early August. Sometimes they're fake, sometimes they're real. But we want to look at these players, so we got some clips from training camp for us to look at. But before we do, you got to tap that subscribe button right now. Give it a good click with the mouse, click with the finger on your phone, whatever you got to do so you can stop missing out on these clips of your favorite players, your favorite rookies, guys who are going to be on your fantasy team here soon. You can't miss out on these players anymore, especially a guy like Dowdle because he is under the radar right now. Could be a cheap asset later down the road if something happens to Pollard or this offense changes up, or whatever happens. You need to pay attention to the RB2 on this team, see how that depth chart is going to look like. But let's look at Dowdle real quick. Important piece to his offense. There he is in the backfield here. One thing you say, he's got some thickness to him. He's got some decent size, adjusted athleticism. Good feet. Moves well, too. Running back here, he's kind of fun to watch. He's got some good highlights too. Look at the Hall of Fame game from a while back. He made some good plays there, and he's moving well. He's got a little bit of wiggle to him. They're using him in the first team too in some instances. Catching the ball in the backfield, dependable. He's got some power as well. He's a guy you can really assert in this offense. And if something happens to Pollard, you need a spell or whatever, you're good to go. Am I saying he's going to be a top-tier guy? No. Am I saying he's a guy that you can just plug in randomly to help keep your offense going? Yeah, and can he give you a little bit more? There is some upside there. I mean, he did look good in college. He did have a little bit of production, and he's got some goods in his game. He's got a jack-of-all-trade type of deal where he can be the guy running between tackles. You can use him out of the backfield as a pass catcher a little bit. Pass pro, got some size to him. Thickness, size-adjusted athleticism. Things are looking good in camp. It looked good in camp prior. He's had some injuries prior. Now we're stringing some practices together. Let's see how things go. We still got a lot of camp to go. We still do. A couple days in camp is like a couple years to some of these younger prospects, especially those guys who don't have high draft capital, because your career can just spin on a dime in 3 to 5 practices. That's just how it does. That's just how it is. Think about your golf game. Think about going out there and you're just having a couple bad days on the sticks, and then you come back and you play well. Just think about that stuff. That stuff happens with these players as well. But Dowdle's doing well. He was a prospect we were looking at when he was coming out. Now he's with the Cowboys doing good things. He's been with them. He had some good preseason performances prior, and now we're seeing himself climb the depth chart. There's a reason why they did not want to bring in any top backs from the draft, from free agency or anything. They had some hosses here on the back end of the depth chart. They just wanted to give opportunity. Probably a smart move considering the running back position. But keep an eye out on the RB2. Dowdle's listed as the RB2. That could be true. That could be false. That could change. We all know that. Camp is still early, even though we've been in it for a bit. But we need to pay attention to this backfield, because the running back here who's getting touches, if something happens to Pollard, is going to hold some value one way or another as a resale asset in Dynasty, or a guy you're fighting for off the waiver wire and redraft, whatever it is. And then for Dallas Cowboys, you need to know who that RB2 is so you know what's happening. One thing is, if something happens to Pollard or we start getting injuries in the running back depth chart, they're going to be throwing it. We can already tell with the addition of Brandon Cooks, his ability to get downfield, be a nuanced route runner. You got CeeDee Lamb stepping up. We're into another year of his career, just developing. Michael Gallup is further away from the ACL injury. The further you get away from those injuries, the better you get, the more you ramp up, the more confident you get, the better you feel. Those things, that's true. That happens to a lot of players. Some players, they're back to 100% off the rip. Some, they're 100%, but they're not 100%, and they really got to get their mentals right. They got to get the feeling right, and then over time, it all starts coming back. That's some stuff we could be seeing. This offense should be clicking this year, kind of under the radar, because not a lot of people are like chatting it up. I'm talking big media, outlets here and there, Cowboys fans, fantasy football outlets, they're talking them up. But again, this is a team you got to watch this year. This is a team that could produce some fantasy assets. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Smash that subscribe button on the way out. Catch you on the next video.